sacred beings, and welcome to my channel. Today we have a very magical video for you. We are going to be talking about dragons. Dragons, I am so excited. We're going to talk about if you are possibly a dragon soul or dragon spirit, or if you come from a dragon star system. We're going to talk about how to connect with them, so how you can call them to you to work with their magic. Talk a little bit about how they can help you. Definitely where to locate them on Earth. And then I'm going to share with you some of my dragon connections at the end of this video. So if that sounds fun to you and you want to be part of our spiritual community, growing together while on our sacred journey, then please hit that subscribe button. But let's go, because I love talking about dragons and I feel like I have that Khaleesi vibe going on right now. Okay, welcome back. So yes, we're going to start talking all about the magical, powerful dragons that can be found all over the universe throughout many, many galaxies. The reason I wanted to do this video today, I know if you've been watching me for a while, I've mentioned diving deeper into dragons because I've talked about the Anunnaki, and I've talked about the planet of dragons that exploded. So definitely check out all of those videos. But for this one, I've been seeing a lot more signs about dragons. So for example, just the other day, my sister recommended I should buy some clothes off of Shein, because all of her clothes are super cute. And when I ask her, she says that they're from Shein. So I went on there and I was looking through all the topics and I typed in dragon just to see what they had. And I was looking at this specific dragon necklace. It was like a dragon wrapped around a sword. Later that same day, I kid you not, a woman checked in with this same exact necklace. And I didn't say anything to her. I almost did. But I just thought that was crazy. And then right after that, I go onto my phone. And let me tell you, I was using my work computer when I looked at Shein. And then I went on my phone, which are two different things, nothing connected. And like one of the first things I saw on my phone was like Facebook groups talking about that this guy's from this dragon planet and he's a crystal dragon or something, and I was just blown away. But other than that, I've also been having crazy dreams, which I would tell you about. A dream I had of becoming a dragon. So we'll get into that, but let's just get started with the general markings. So I'm starting with the markings because there's a lot more magical information to share with you after we confirm that yes, you are a dragon or a hybrid dragon starseed. So let's get into the markings. Of course, you are going to need your birth chart, but for this video, I thought it would be fun to use the draconic birth chart, since draconic, Draco, dragons, you see where I'm going, and it does talk about past lives. So if you have a past life of being a dragon, this birth chart is going to show you that. So in order to get your birth chart, you want to just Google draconic birth chart. And the first one you see should be the horoscope astro-seek.com, and you just want to click on birth chart, fill out on all your information, and then your grid is going to look like this. We're just going to skip all the way down to where you find this, and it has your planets, houses, and then your signs at the bottom. So just by looking at that, we are going to focus on the Draco constellation, which I've mentioned before, I think in my first video. So it tells you if you're a draconian. But for this, we're going to find some of your dragon roots or like reptilian roots, which aren't always bad. So if you come from the Draco constellation, these are some of the markings you may have in your birth chart. Keep in mind, you can be a hybrid. You can be multiple starseed origin races from all over. You can also be 1 to 2 degrees away. So if I say, for example, the first number is 11 or 17 in Aries, so let's do 17 in Aries, then you will be a 15, 16, 17, 18, or 19. So up to 2 away from the number I give you is at least one marking, and you want a total of minimum of 3 to confirm that yes, you've been feeling like you have dragon roots And at least 3 of these will confirm that for you. But I will say you don't need any of this confirmation. If you feel in your soul and your heart, and you read about dragons and you see dragons everywhere, which we'll get into that, and you just know like that's your home, or you really connect with dragons, and you don't have any markings, that is okay. You don't need markings to tell you what you already know. So with that being said, let's continue with the markings. Here is my birth chart. So let's go. My draconic birth chart. We're going to be looking for a 17 or 11 in Aries. So you're looking at the number on the left. But exactly it's going to be 17 Aries 28, which is the Notice 2 in the Draco constellation. And I believe I have one of those, 1 or 2 away. But let's move on. You're going to have a 0 Taurus 17. So exactly 0 Taurus 17, or just a 0 or 1 or 2 away, which is Alsafi or the Sigma. I'm going to mess up all these names because we have a lot to talk about, so I'm just going to go through all this stuff. So you also want to look for, in Taurus, other than a 0, you want to look for a 2, an 11, or a 20. More specific, 2 Taurus 39 is Tile, the Epsilon Draconis. Moving on to Gemini, if you have 11 Gemini or exactly 11 Gemini 3, that is the Baton Taban Australis. If you have a 15, exactly 15 Gemini 55, that's the Baton Taban Borealis. Or if you have a 16 in Gemini, which I think I have something near 15, 16, something like that. So let's move on to Cancer. You will have a 13 or 14 in Cancer. Specifically, 14 Cancer 31 is the Dizaban, which is the 2 jackals or the 2 dogs. Moving to Leo, so if you have a 10, 12, 16 in Leo, or exactly 10 Leo 20 is the Jinsar, or also spelt these other ways. Or if you have a 16 Leo 16 is the Shaowain, the Kappa. Moving on to Virgo, if you have 7 Virgo, exactly 7 Virgo 28, that's the Thuban or the Alpha Draconis, which also means the snake in Arabic. If you have in Libra a 4, 14, or 16, so exactly a 4 Libra 58 is the Adashi. 14 Libra 14 is the Aldebaran, which is the second brightest star. Or a 16 Libra 42 is the Shangzai or Shangaui, which is the Kappa Draconis. We're almost done. If you have a 24 in Scorpio, exactly 24 Scorpio 59, that is the Arrakis. The dancer is what it means in Arabic. 10 in Sagittarius, or in Sagittarius will be a 10, 11, 24, or 27 in Sagittarius. Exactly 10 Sagittarius 21 is the Kuma. 11 Sagittarius 59 is the Alwade or the Rastaban, the Beta Draconis, the third brightest star, and the head of the serpent. Also 24 Sag 46 exactly is the Grumium, and 27 Sag 59 is the Edaman or Altanen, which is the Gamma Draconis, the brightest star in the Draco constellation. So a couple other markings if you have the dragon soul or dragon origin is, of course, from the Chinese New Year. If you are born in 1952, 1964, 1976, 1988, 2000, 2012, and then the next one is coming up for all the new babies next year in 2024. We'll have more dragon energy. Another thing is, remember the video I just did of Ophiuchus? I will post that up here. The man or warrior is holding the snake, the serpent, which is also a type of dragon energy. So if you come from Ophiuchus, you might be a Draco Ophiuchus dragon hybrid or something along those lines. But I'll give you those markings real quick. You would be in Scorpio in 18, 19, I think I have one of those. So in Scorpio, 18, 19, 22, 24, 25. Sagittarius, a 24, which is the same as the Draco constellation. And then in Capricorn, a 5 or a 15, which I think I have one of those as well. Another thing I found if you are dragon origin or energy, is that you might be an Altair or an Altarian starseed. If you have a 1 in Aquarius, exactly 1 Aquarius 47, 1 or 2 away from that. It's also called Aquila, Altair, Altarian Aquila. So look into them. They are a type of starseed if you align with that. And then lastly, a thing to keep in mind is at the bottom of this birth chart, it talks about your elements. So what is the highest element you have? For example, mine is fire. Keep that in mind when we're talking about the types of dragons, because you may be a fire dragon. So let's move on to where to locate this constellation of the Draco in the sky, which is super easy because it's right in between the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper. So if you're looking, the tail of the dragon is going to be in between the Little Dipper and then the top of the Big Dipper, like bowl. It's going to be on the top. So that is where to locate it in the sky if you want to gaze at night and connect with your dragon ancestors. Oh, and then what I did find, which is pretty cool, is there is going to be a meteor shower that is coming from this constellation. It's called the Draconid. Probably said that wrong, but it's a meteor shower happening this year in October 2023, where all the meteors are going to be flying out of this constellation. I feel like it's going to be magical. So that's going to be happening in October, specifically the 6th of October to the 10th, with the most activity and probably when you can see it best, the 8th and 9th of October. So put that on your calendar. I thought that was something fun because stars or whatever are falling out the sky from the dragon constellation. So now let's move on and talk about the types of dragons and their locations. So there are so many types of dragons that you can be, and I did a lot of research to try to find out specific markings. So if you are a fire dragon, you will have this marking in your birth chart. But let me tell you, everything I looked up when I just Googled dragons was Dungeons and Dragons, Dragon Ball Z, all the games and stuff. So it was really hard for me to find this information for you, but I did. So what I learned and what I believe after reading this is that each star system, or within each star system or planet, is a dragon or multiple dragons. And we'll talk about galactic dragons. So within each planet or star system, there are ancient galactic dragons that carry the wisdom of their races to the planet they're inhabiting, to the inhabitants of the planet or star they're inhabiting. So basically every star system has its own type of dragons. So you can be like Lumerian dragons, Atlantean dragons, crystal dragons, Syrian, Orion, Andromedan. You can have all of these dragons, or be a Andromedan dragon hybrid, or Orion dragon hybrid. Or I saw somebody say when I was researching that they're a white crystal Andromedan dragon. So you can be multiple things. But I did find a website where they talk about fire dragons, like all the elements: earth, air, golden, guardian, abundance dragons, crystalline dragons, rainbow dragons, so many things. But basically, if you come from a dragon planet, which most of them all have their own dragon, but if you have that energy or spirit about you, you're gonna have signs, right? So I was talking about the signs to make this video. So I've also had other signs of having that energy, is just like finding things around that are dragons. So a little show and tell. So I found this little dragon when I was cleaning in an RV park, and it's a red dragon. So I've had multiple dreams about red dragons. Another thing is you're going to start seeing dragons in the sky, in the clouds. So I always see that in the clouds. These are some pictures that I've taken of dragons, or of what looks like dragons to me, in the clouds. So you're going to find or see them in the forest, maybe tree branches, or roots. The trunk will look like a dragon. Maybe in the river, something sticking out that's looking like a dragon head. So you'll definitely start seeing things around that look like dragons. But other things, like you'll just feel the energy around you. Like the other day, I went to a paint and sip. So it's a bar where you can drink craft cocktails and play with pottery. And I decided to make a dragon. So here he is. I want to show you him. But I have not painted him yet. I haven't had time. This was like 3 days ago. But this is what I made. A little dragon guy. So yes, I need to paint him and name him, but he's my dragon friend for right now. And then the other thing I was going to talk to you about is you'll have dreams about them. So one of my dreams most recently was I was captured by these people from a different country, and they did something to me where I felt really full of power. And they're like, how do you feel? And like I could barely walk. Like I was really like overwhelmed with a powerful feeling. And what they did was turn me into a dragon. So I was slowly becoming a dragon. I was slowly growing my wings, and I would get angry and feel like this ball of like energy want to come out like you would of flames or fire. And they created me so that I would go back to my home country and destroy my country. They created me as a weapon to kill my own. So it was a very intense dream. But I remember after they did whatever they did to create me, their women, were bathing me in a tub, and they were scrubbing my back, and I was slowly growing wings, and it was really intense in my dream. And I kept asking them, like, why did they create me? Why did they do this? And that's when I found out that they created me to be a weapon. So very powerful dream. I have goosebumps right now. But let's move on to, you can work with dragons. You can work with this powerful energy. And right now they say that Syrian, Arcturian, and Palladian dragons are very keen to work with humans at this time. So if you connect with those star systems and dragons, it should be a little easier to connect with them. But you may find that others are attracted to you. Other star system dragons may be coming to you instead of just those. And another thing to keep in mind when working with them is that you've probably had history working with other star races with dragon consciousness. This will also help attract dragons to you because they know that you've worked with their energies before, and they're excited to work with you again. Here's something I found to evoke the dragon energy. So if you want to work with dragons, you need to get into that meditative state, and you can recite this. So this is what I found. You can say, I call upon the energy of the galactic dragon realm. I ask to connect with any galactic dragons who are willing to work with me for my highest soul development. I am ready to receive wisdom from the galactic realms and to provide assistance that is for the highest and best of all. So it says close your eyes and really breathe deeply and enjoy that dragon energy around you and see what comes. So be aware of like visions or colors or messages that may come to you. But where I started learning this stuff is a certain website. So I recommend you guys go to this website. It's called dragonwisdomschool.org. If you are super into dragons and want to learn more and connect with them more and figure out what kind of dragon you are, I recommend going to this website because you can click on like the different types of dragons and it will tell you all those ones I mentioned. And other ones like love dragons, ice dragons, ruby ray dragons. So I was looking at all the pictures, and one in particular stood out to me, called the solar dragons. And that's because in my dreams they're always red, and in my particular, that newest dream, it was a red orange. That's why I tried to wear yellow orangey and red makeup, but I don't have red eyeshadow, so I put lipstick on my eyes, and it works. So I really connected with this solar dragon. So this is where it gets really weird with my own personal dragon development and research. So I will read to you what I found about this. So solar dragons. Solar dragons are the dragons of the sun. They carry the solar light codes, which energize and heal us. They connect us with divine source light and help us when our solar fire energy is out of balance. Remember I said my highest element was fire? So the solar dragons are coming forward more at this time to help light workers. And how many times do I talk about light workers and being a light worker? So they're coming forward at this time to help light workers hold more solar light in their pineal gland, their third eye. Those who are out of balance with the solar light and solar fire energies will manifest headaches, vertigo, dizziness, migraine, brain fog, inarticulation of thoughts, disorganization, poor memory recall, and lack clear direction in life. So I had been recently, and I thought it was altitude sickness, but it might be this because I went to Key West and came back to the mountains, which were 7,000 feet elevation right now. But I had like dizziness, headaches, like extreme like vertigo feeling, and reading this, so I was just like, wow. So the solar dragons can help us recalibrate with the earth change, also the higher light codes that are being released, and attune us back into our centered spiritual selves. They aid with removal of stuck energies and blocks in harnessing the changes in the solar light codes. Good crystals connect with solar dragons include sunstone, orange calcite, carnelian, and iron pyrite, which I thought was crazy, the iron pyrite, because where we work at the RV park, they have a little mining thing, and you'll get the iron pyrite, which looks like fool's gold, and everybody brings it up like, oh, is this gold? I'm like, no, it's pyrite, it's fool's gold. So I'm already surrounded with it, but look how crazy this gets. So I also came across like dragon lines, but ley lines. So I've talked about ley lines before, but people also call them dragon lines or dragon trails. And they say like at certain intersections where like vortexes would be, there are certain ones where dragon energy is really high. Like the mother dragon is laying her eggs of energy to be harnessed by us to continue doing the healing work. So here are the list of where this like activation energy is happening. But I mentioned some of these in the ley line video, but one in particular sticks out to me. New Mexico, because that's where we're living right now. And I looked up Chaco Canyon, which I've heard people mention who are passing through, and it's only 3 hours away from me. And there's a very strong dragon vortex there. So I'm going to have to check that out and let you guys know how it is. But I Googled pyrite in Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. It's full of pyrite, iron all over the place. So I thought that was super crazy. But as I was researching, I also came across dragon language. So you may have heard of light language. If not, look it up. It's pretty interesting. I would love to try to do that here in the near future. But they also have dragon language, which I think might be the same thing, but you are like you're channeling dragons and like that certain energy. But I was reading about dragon language. I stumbled upon something that mentioned about the mother of dragons will soon come back to resurrect her solar dragon daughters. And didn't I not just say the solar one stood out to me the most? So it was crazy reading this. Like the mother of dragons is soon to return, like much anticipation for her to return and resurrect her solar daughters to help protect the earth and natural kingdoms. And there was a symbol next to when I was reading this. And this symbol, I kid you not, this lady at the RV park just moved out and left a bunch of her stuff behind. And she let us look through it. And I came across this necklace. This is the same exact symbol that is talking about the solar daughters with dragons. And it's called like the triple solar goddess triquetra codes. It also is called a trinity knot and represents the unification of the body, mind, and soul. So physical, mental, spiritual, and also past, present, future. But I thought that was crazy that I just found this after all this dragon talk and then doing this video, and I just researching it one after another. I was just being blown away. So to go a little deeper, the dragon helps you face your shadow and remove your ego, just like dragons lay dormant in the planets or the earth that you're living on. So does that dragon energy within you waiting to be released. So I don't know if you've heard of Kundalini. I've talked about this and how I had that awakening, and I just haven't told you guys the whole story yet. But it does have a lot to do with the dragon energy and like the serpent going through your spine and chakras and waking you up, getting rid of your ego and shadow self. So dragons can really help with doing that. So it was just weird thinking, like, since my awakening, maybe that's why I've seen a lot of more dragon things, because I put that energy back dormant, and I feel like it's slowly, like, hello, ready to be released again. But yes, that is all the dragon information I have for you guys today. I hope you had fun going through that journey with me. So please let me know if you resonate with dragons, and which one off of that dragon wisdom school, like which one do you resonate with? Oh, and I forgot to mention the dragon, solar dragon. Each dragon that you want to connect with or call forth to help you, there's certain things you can say. So I didn't read the one for the solar dragon, but definitely check that out if you're trying to work with them. So yes, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you have a great day.